Hey, long time no see. Welcome to the show, everybody. Cheers. Here's to Ruby. This is grape juice. All right. If you're watching the replay, then, well, the action will come soon. I'm just going to wait for people to join in online. If you're joining in, please say hello from whatever country or state you happen to be in tonight. It's kind of cool. I always like to see from where in the world everybody is watching. So, yeah. Once every 6 months, I will have a little bit of wine or beer. Very rare. So if you have water, coffee, grapefruit juice, tea, whatever your favorite beverage is, join me. So, yeah. Hello, Scotty. How are you? Hello, Mr. Headlights Go Up. Hope everything is well. So, we'll wait for a few more people to get on. Then I'll jump into the subject. And then, thanks, Alan. I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed the content. It's a lot of fun for me, too. Hey, from Hawaii, Ohio. Notification get. Hello from San Diego. Hey, Matthew, how are you doing, man? Welcome back, my main man. You are live. Good audio and video. Good, good. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, just, yeah. Everybody can hear me? Check, 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 check. All right, good. Hey, I caught you, Mike from California. Oh my God, California not going too good there. Picked up the book on refactoring. About to dive into this weekend. Very good, very good. That's how you're going to level up your game. Refactoring book, big time. If you're interested in a refactoring book, there's a link below. You can click through, pick it up. Good evening, another California native. Very cool, Mike Greer. Nice. How are you? Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right. How many people are we? 35. Small group tonight. That's what happens when you don't schedule your lives, you know. So, what are we going to do? Let's jump into it. I think I'm answering a question here in this stream that was sent to me from somebody about starting their freelance web design career. And they wanted to know about the suing issue. So let's just jump into that. And then we'll get back to some, yeah, lots of California people tonight. Very cool. Yeah, when I head down to California eventually. Serbia, wow, very cool. All right, so let's see what I got here. So this is, something was sent to me. All right, here we go. And we'll read this, and I'll answer, and then we'll do a little Q&A and the usual stuff. Oh, all right, so let's get into this. Hello, I'm a big fan of your YouTube videos and recently joined your newsletter. Very cool. I have learned more from your channel than all others combined. Thanks for that. I have a question about whether I should accept a project. I'm a high school student in Canada and have the opportunity to make the website for a local small business. I will do it for free. That's a good idea. You're first starting out, you do some freebie jobs just to develop some chops, some skill. However, a friend recently told me that if something happens with the website, I could be personally liable or even be sued. I want to take the project, but not if I must assume any legal responsibilities. If I get them to do the hosting themselves, so money exchanges hands, will this project be safe to take? Best regards. That's a good question. So I have an answer here. I answered a guy, and I'll read what I wrote. First, if the business owner would sue you after you've done the work for them for free, this business owner would be a total D. Facts. Yeah. Imagine that. You do something for free. You're in high school and the guy wants to sue you. Highly improbable to begin with. But anyway. Second, just right here, this is how you solve the situation. This is how you absolve yourself from any liability. Just write an email to him or her that says, you are doing it for free. They know you are a young nerd in learning, and they will not hold you responsible for anything. That's it. I don't even think this is responsible. This is required, but if you have this, it's pretty much lock solid here. Finally, The chance they would even attempt to sue you are pretty much zero. I assume you are a kid with no assets, so you are not someone they'd want to sue since you have nothing they could grab. No money equals total power, so you are good. So that's my answer. So I'm sneakily teaching you a little bit about the web design business and development business. I'm teaching you about how legal issues work a little bit, although I am not a lawyer. At the end of the day, if you're broke, what can they possibly do to you, right? You got nothing. Second of all, if you're a high school kid, you may be even underage, there's no chance that he could be sued. And again, suing is a very expensive proposition. You have to prove damages. And, depending on where you live in the world, the laws will be different, of course. But this is not something I'd be too concerned with. That being said, as I pointed out in the email, contracts are huge. Just having an email where they accept it, and it's very clear what the situation is, what the expectations are, you should be good. One big thing about dealing with people is you got to learn to read people, see if they're going to be reasonable people or not. My Lizard Wizard course will come in handy there. Anyway, and also it's about setting up expectations, so that everybody kind of knows where, what's going on now, what's the expectation. And if you do this up front, you have some, like I said, something down digitally or on paper, so that everything is clear about who expects what in the situation, you should be in a pretty good situation. I wouldn't be too concerned about. What else we got here? Napa, you'd love it. Yeah, Napa. Yeah. Should the main headline of a homepage and subheading be H1, H2, or H1 and P tags, anyone? Yeah, if you use the heading tags, H through 1 through 6, if you want to tell the web browsers and the search engines what the headings and subheadings are. Because how they look, the browsers will have a default look for every tag, but you define that with the CSS, of course. So that is all about semantics in the page. It's about telling browsers and search engines what the page is about. So yes, H1 is the most prominent heading. H6 is the least prominent heading, but they are headings. So yeah, there you go. What else is going on? H1 and navbar in a div. Yeah, that will work. Hi, Stefan. All-time fan of yours. Hey, Andreas Worm Espersine. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see what Sergeant Camacho has to say. H1 is supposed to be the most important heading. H2, 3, etc. are for subheading. Exactly. Did you miss everything? Yeah. No. Well, replay what you missed. Cheers. Welcome to the stream. I rarely drink. There's just a little bit of wine. Nothing big deal. I don't think I'm breaking any YouTube rules. I don't know. It's grape juice. Yeah. I don't like being inebriated, so I don't, even though I'm in Canada, so here weed is legal, and I don't drink, I don't smoke, it's not my thing. Bad luck on my end, gotta go help out with the family. Cheers though, I'll catch the stream after it's posted. Hey, well, thanks for joining. Good luck with the family affairs there. Family first. Hello from warm Sunrise, Florida. Hey, yeah, I wish I was there. I was supposed to go there, but the Trudeau Hotel kept me out, unfortunately. I started your Lizard Wizard course today. Hey, great. Let me know how it goes. People are starting to really like Lizard Wizard. Let me, I got a good tweet today. A tweet back, actually. Here it is. So I tweeted this. I go, my Lizard Wizard course, cutting edge psych training, is getting great reviews. It's only been out a week. Here's one review I got earlier today. First of all, I already did your Lizard Wizard course, which is fantastic. It's already influencing my life positively, so that's very rewarding. And then somebody responded here, this guy Magna. Really cool info. Also went through it in one sitting. We'll be revising, taking notes next. Very cool. So people really like it. If you're not sure what it is, this is it. It's the Wizard. Yes, shameless side promotion. It's a brand new course I just put out about a week ago, and it's about the way your brain works. I tried to break it down. Instead of having a 14-hour mega course, I broke it down to 2 hours, about 20 lessons, covers all kinds of stuff. So yeah, a little shameless self-promotion. This is branching out for me. I've been studying psychology for decades. It was my major in university. I'm not a psychologist though. But I've been keeping up to date with it on the side for a long time. So I decided to put out a course on it because it's such an important thing. So this course will help you understand how your brain works, teach you how to manage your emotions, teach you how to learn more quickly, give you some lizard dating tips, and a whole bunch of other things as well. It's really a great course. I'm quite pleased with it, actually. It came out pretty nicely. So there you go. There's my self-promotion for now. Yeah, let's get back to some Q&A. You got it. You understand the little double entendre. I like to have, a lot of times I like to do multiple meanings in what I write and say. If anybody is familiar with James Joyce, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. What variety of cheese is on your plate for your wine? Nothing. I'm just having a little bit of Shiraz from Australia today. So that's it. Matthew, I think I'm going to grab gin and tonic. My arm is still shot. I can't code yet. Well, it will get better. At least you got it done. Now it's done. And how's it going to, by the way, Matthew, with the body developer stuff? I heard last time you said you lost 18 pounds or something in a week or so. That's cool. Yeah, I got to shamelessly promote this for my buddy. So yeah, my buddy who was like a diabetic, he lost like 100 pounds and he's putting together a program. So it's totally free. He wants to take on mentees. Just join this newsletter at thebodydeveloper.com. It's totally free. He's never going to bother you to try to charge you. He's just putting together this great program. And I think Matthew Matthew can attest to how effective it is. Basically, it's a program he's putting together for people who sit at their desk all day. So it's not like working out like a maniac. Who does that? And it's little changes you can make and you can start dropping a lot of weight and start feeling a lot better about your physicality. So bodydeveloper.com, check that out. Again, totally free. Never going to charge you. Free consultation with somebody who's actually very credible. That dude this morning was funny. Lizzy Wizzy, 2 electric boogaloo. Yeah, it remind me of that. I got to take that down. I think I'm going to probably do a Lizard Wizard too because I'm getting such a great response to it. It was a lot of fun to make. It's a fun course. The second one, I'm going to go even deeper down that lizard rabbit hole. It's going to be pretty cool. So yeah, I think I might have to call it the Electric Boogaloo course. That's very good. I am from Denmark, by the way. Very good. Very cool. Very cool. A good friend of mine, childhood friend of mine, he's from Denmark initially. Stefan, I don't expect you to answer this tonight, but I'm having the roughest time with JavaScript asynchronous techniques. Well, I can't start doing code in a live stream, especially when I'm drinking. But don't drink in code, they say. You're going to crash your code. Okay. Yeah, asynchronous. Yeah, just keep working on it, dude. Just keep trying it, I have nothing else I can say right now. Asuma says, any tips on building a good contract that works for both me and the client? Building a good contract that works for both me and the client? Yeah, check out my freelance course. I have a contract template. I talk about contracts, how to set them up. It's very important that you establish a good working relationship with the client right from the get-go, so that everybody knows what to expect. If you do that initially, it makes the whole process so much more easy. It makes it much more easy. So again, establish the rapport with the client right from the get-go and make sure you set up the relationship so they understand how it's going to work. Especially for small companies, inexperienced entrepreneurs and business people, they could have skewed expectations, shall we say, about things. So it's very important, though, that you do have a solid, simple contract that's laid out very clearly with timelines and so forth to avoid problems. You stop the problems right at the get-go of the relationship with the client, okay? Exhausted Stack Overflow and other websites. Yeah. Yeah, I would first maybe simple it down, and then I would break into little pieces, get the simplest version of it going, and then you can take it from there. Don't try to debug some very complex thing. Strip it down to very simple, and then get that working, and then slowly build it up. That's what I would do. I learned that from the Germans in the 1990s. Down from 316 to 288 in 2 weeks. Fantastic. So my friend Matthew here, he's using the body developer training, training, it's not training, you're not exercising. Methodologies here, just go to bodydeveloper.com, totally free consultation. He's already down from 316 to 288 in 2 weeks without having to exercise. So that's the key of it. I was talking to my friend about that. He said, you got all these people who are sitting at the desk all day. A lot of people don't want to go train like maniacs. By the way, 90% of weight loss and getting healthy is not heavy-duty exercise. It's a proper diet and nutrition and so forth. And just subtle changes to the way you act. How enjoyable do you find Australian wine? I am not a drinker. I'm not a drinker either. This is the first time I've had alcohol in maybe 6-7 months. And it's just very little. I'm a cheap date, by the way. I'm a very cheap date. I get drunk right away. But I'm not drunk now. But it's I don't like getting inebriated. So I don't drink too often. But Australian wine has a very good reputation. So it seems pretty good to me. But I'm not a wine connoisseur. It's pretty good. Are you getting sued? No. You missed the earlier story. I'll just bring it up very quickly. Where is it now? Yeah, it was somebody asking me about getting sued. So I'm a big fan. He said, I have a question about whether I should accept a project. I'm a high school student in Canada and have the opportunity to make a website. Anyway, he was worried that he might get sued by his company. He was told by these people that he might get sued if he built a website for some small company. I said, no chance, you're okay. I told him what to do. What you do is, you can watch the stream earlier on. You get an idea what to do. He had type 2 diabetes. He developed it because he's 6'3", and he went up 6'3" or 6'4", I forget now. Anyway, he went up to over 300 pounds, and he got diabetes. So there you go. What are you trying to do, Mike? That's it. Yeah, Mike. Yeah. If you're in the mentoring group, you can get some help from the other people. Anyway, sorry. The Fetch API is the best. So there you go. Here's some help from people. Check out the Fetch API for JS asynchronous coding. Have you played around with Haskell? No, I have not. Are you familiar with the term lexing or lexical? Lexical. I used to, but I forget now. How's the weather there? It's actually starting to pick up. It's like 0 degrees, -1 degrees, just below freezing. It's t-shirt weather up here in Canada. So it's, I feel the spring coming. I'm celebrating the coming spring. By the way, how's the sound? The sound quality good? The video quality is good? You can see clearly, I hope. Yeah, that's what I keep doing. Callbacks, promises, nothing has done it so far. Again, Mike, I would suggest simpling it down, dumb it down, try to get like the very simplest implementation of what you want to do. Very simple, and then try to build it up from there. Scotty says, on the topic, how do you find graphical content like images for your projects? Do you pay artists or draw them for you? I heard that using images from Google can get you sued. Yeah, you don't want to use images from Google because Google just uses other people's images. Did you hear about what's going to happen to Google and Facebook because of Australia and maybe Canada? Basically, Google, Facebook have been making a lot of money pointing and consuming other people's content, like specifically news sites. It's been reciprocal to a certain extent, but so anyway, long story short, Australia and it looks like Canada may follow. They may charge Facebook for every time. Google. They might charge Facebook for linking to news sites. I don't know, so because all the newspapers have been folding. Because if you look at Facebook and Google, their real business is just classified ads, right? They took all the classified ad business from newspapers around the world. That's what they did, and they pointed to their concept. These newspapers' content. So problem is somebody has to pay the reporters to gather the content, right? What else? So yeah, so don't use images from Google. What I do is when I use images like the lizard wizard image, I just got it from, I licensed it, right? I licensed it from I think it's iStock. I went to iStock for that one. So if I go to lizard wizard here, see that lizard right here? This guy right here, that is a licensed image. I pay for it. It's not worth the headache. So if you're doing commercial work for a client, you should license and pay for that photo. It's not worth the risk. There are Wiki Commons, I think it is. There are websites that do have images that are basically open source. But check those licenses and be very sure about that, because it's not worth having that risk. Especially if you're getting paid for it, and just tell the client, say, listen, you can get these free images that look like, or we can take photos. It's going to cost you. You got to charge for that. Or we can buy stock photography and buy the license, which is the cheapest by far, most of the time. Greetings from a dinosaur to another dinosaur. Pedro Serapio. Thanks for joining. Good name, by the way, Pedro. Stefan, do you own Bitcoin? No. I wish I did. Many years ago, I was trying to buy Bitcoin, 10 years ago, whatever it was. And when it was like 4 or 5 cents a coin. But I never got through. It was so hard to buy back then. I just forgot about it. Yeah, but I did have Litecoin. Last time, the big run-up, we actually got lucky. We sold our Litecoin miners, and we got out of the game. We made some money. Not a huge money. I don't remember, $6,000-$10,000, something like that. But I made some money with it and just got out, and I haven't gone back in. So it's a very, very speculative thing. So I'd be very cautious with that. But people are making big money. Yeah, break a big problem down into small parts. Oh, let me try that again. Yes, break a big problem to small parts. One of my techniques. Sorry to keep talking shop. I do like coding, but it's like drinking from a fire hose. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Once you get it, you go, oh, now I get it, Yo, Stef, should I master vanilla JS and then move to a framework? Yes, you got to learn your vanilla JS first. Then learning the framework will be like this. If you don't understand vanilla JS, learning the framework will be much more difficult. Cheap but not free. Yeah. Once again, cheers, everybody. Thanks for joining the stream. It's been a while. Please zoom in a bit. What does Matthew say about the body developer? It was all diet. I was eating too much BS. I quit drinking completely and zero sugar, less than 100 carbs, 16-hour fasting. Yeah, that's all you have to do. How hard was the fasting initially? It was a little difficult. Did you get used to it quickly? Let us know. I'm going to post it here. So Matthew is a guy who's been being coached by my friend for free, and you can take advantage for free because he's putting together his program called the Body Developer. It'll teach you how to lose tons of weight without having to exercise, and just some subtle changes to your lifestyle. And Bob's your uncle. You'd be in good shape. So you go to bodydeveloper.com, totally free. So it's not a promo. Just sign up to the newsletter, and he'll hook you up, and he'll start taking your call, and he'll figure out a program that works for your situation. All right, so what else do we got here? Let's go on. Let's answer some questions. Ahmed Mustafa has to say, could I start freelancing first, or should I work in a team in a company, for example? You can do either or. It's up to you. You can learn from a company, but you can learn from freelancing as well, right? You just take on simple projects. That's up to you. Ludra M. Valadia Calderon, excuse me. I like these names, great names. Losing 14 pounds in a week, as much as I want to lose the weight, I think pros say 5 pounds per week is the average to lose. I'm not sure if it was a week or 2 weeks that he lost those pounds. I think it was 2 weeks, but also depends where you're starting from, right? Do you think sitting in front of a computer for longer hours may affect your health? Yes, it will. You have to take breaks and walk around, do a little exercise, you know. Trust me, I've been a computer guy nerd since the 90s. You got to exercise, dude. You'll be much more productive. As I've discussed in other streams, again, from the science, most people can work optimally or at peak level for mental work about 3 to 4 hours a day. Then after, you want to do light work. So you go deep into, I don't know, debugging, algorithm work, architectural work for 3 or 4 hours. And then when you've you'll see your productivity will diminish cognitively. And then what happens, then you can do some light work, some light planning or something like that. Go take a walk for half an hour. Telling you, exercise, healthy body, healthy mind, healthy body, healthy mind. It's not BS. It's going to help you. You're going to be much more productive to take that time out to actually go do some working out. Yeah. What I do, first of all, when I build project in PHP today is make it work, then fix all the bugs, and then security concern. It's a social network I am building. Yeah, exactly. Software development is an iterative approach. What I always tell people, you want to get the whole thing working, even in a shabby state. You want to get the whole thing working, A to Z. Whoosh, so you got something that's actually working. And then you go back and you start refactoring your code. Check out the refactoring book below. And then you start adding, start refining things, adding security, et cetera, et cetera. But you want to get the whole thing working. That's the way to do it. The mistake is to sort of get caught up in one module, if you will, or one part of your code base and linger on that. You want to get something working. What's the best way to find web design clients? Depends where you are. Local business works. I have a process. You can check out some of my videos where I talk about the steps to how to get your first clients and so on. I'm 6'3", yeah, so he's a big boy. So 14 pounds to him is ain't too much. Sound is great. Cool. Thanks for letting me know. Thanks, Pedro. Cool. Your sound quality and visual is perfect. Thanks. I appreciate that. Cool. I've been working on that. I only had to do about 700-800 videos before I figured out how to do video and sound properly. I'm a fast learner that way. Hold on. Pablo, there we go. Do you recommend to study Turbo Pascal in 2021? If there's jobs in it, if you know there's work and you want to do that kind of work, that's kind of old. But if there's jobs, sound is perfect. Good. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for letting me know, by the way. I'm reading a JSON file with XML HTTP requests and then trying to create a JSON object that I can use globally. Every time I try, my JSON object is always local to the function. But then I just code, man. You can just pass it out. I would have to see the code, but that's a structural bug, if you will. It's just structural, so it's not a typo. So you have to look at your variable scope in that situation. If you look at ES6, I think you have more flexibility there vis-a-vis variable scope. Do you know anyone who has developed an IoT product? I have a friend of mine who did, yeah, now he's doing AI work though. How do you go about creating an MVP for a product? Prototype run or sell your prototype using off-the-shelf boards until you get a user base? That's a good question. What happened there? All right, no, I had a weird special effect there. What's going on? All right. How do you go about creating an MVP product? You do it as quickly as possible and with the cheapest components possible. That's what MVP is all about. Prototype run or sell your prototype using off-the-shelf board. I would use off-the-shelf boards, build a prototype, demonstrate its functionality, and then see what happens from there. Images, Pixels, or Unsplash. I guess those are two sites. We have a coupon for your web can we have a coupon for your web development course? Yeah, send me an email. If you want a coupon, I'll do a coupon. Send me an email at send it to me personally. Don't tell anybody. It's Stefan, Stefan at Studioweb. Say, I want a coupon for a dev course. I'll send you a nice juicy coupon. And I'll know you're from the stream. So as many as you want, as many people as you want, send me. I'll send you a coupon because I've been having wine. How do you come up with your pricing on your courses at Studioweb? I don't know. I look at the market. A lot of people say I should charge more. I wanted to make the content is as accessible as possible for everyone concerned. So I try to keep it relatively affordable. So you can charge clients for images licensing. That's good to know. Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's part of the cost, right? Unless they supply the images. Or somebody's got to pay for it. It's not going to be you. Or you just bake it into the cost. And you just show them. Just be transparent about it. Say, look, we got to buy these images or, we don't want to be sued. Nobody wants to be sued. Other channels, speakers say, hey, Google. I won't say, hey, Google. I just said it. Thank you for the stream. No problem. I hope you guys enjoy it. I enjoy doing the streams. Just good to see you in a video again, Stefan. I'm so glad I was at my computer. Hey, no problem. Thanks for joining the stream. I enjoy doing these. Ruby joke, please. Yeah, I did a Ruby joke on my Instagram, actually, just earlier today. 3 to 4 days I was hungry. I just drank a ton of water. There you go. Coffee helps too, by the way. Coffee helps too with that. So you may want to check that out if you're able to drink coffee, Scotty says, in real-world situation, how much is vanilla coding used? All the time. All the time. Most of your work in coding is going to be debugging, a lot of debugging. And you better know your vanilla stuff well if you're going to debug. Was just watching your previous live topics, top 10 Python GUIs, or should I learn C++ in 20? There we go. Cool. Leaving sugar is hard. Love donuts and cakes. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah. Well, you slowly wean yourself off of it. Like I was full keto for a few months. I lost 15, 16 pounds over a period of time. And so I'm cheating a little bit, having a little wine, a little bit of bread here and there, Let's see what we got here. Stefan, beyond your mentorship program, do you offer consults? I do on occasion. Depends how exhaustive. Depends. What stage you are in the business. If you're further along, I've charged $1,000 for a half an hour consultation. If they're total noobs, I'll do it for cheap for like $100. You write to me and you see what it is, and I'll let you know what I think is best. I'm not here to fleece. I value my time, but I'm not going to charge you for something that you don't need at that point. Thoughts on jQuery in 2021? It's used still there. It's still used, but it's in the background more or less. Cheers. Hey, thanks, guys. Sir. Thanks for joining. It must be late for you, Germany. Is it easy for a junior to get a remote job now with COVID? If you have a good presentation, it is. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks what? Yeah, 2 weeks with your to lose the 14 pounds. On intermittent fasting, initially the shift to 2 meals a day, noon and 6 p.m. was a pain. Towards the end of a couple of weeks, the new eating schedule works good. So there you go. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, exactly. When I intermittent fast, I usually will have my meal in the evening. Like I said, I had my meal about a half an hour ago. And I'm not going to eat until maybe 2 p.m. tomorrow, maybe 3, depending on how I feel. And that's how I do my intermittent fast. Personally, it works well for me. Yeah. Just so you know, if you want to lose a few pounds, get private coaching. No charge. He's just putting together his program. So he wants a bunch of people. He's working with a few people. So I'm sending him people, thebodydeveloper.com. And again, no charge. He'll never charge you. And he just wants to work with people, get feedback, and he's putting together the program. So if you want to lose weight without having to work out like a maniac, which is pointless in all honesty, check out thebodydeveloper.com, sign up. It will be well worth it for you if you want to lose weight and get in shape. Just work around you when you are thinking. Okay, hi Stef from Algeria. Hey, very cool. Thanks, Karim. Thanks for joining the stream. I tell you, I get a kick out of the fact, maybe because I'm a 169-year-old nerd, it's still shocking to me that we're talking with people all over the world. That's fantastic. I like this semi-off-topic live stream, health, exercise, wine, laugh out loud. Yeah, well, why not? That's life, right? It's kind of all be nerd stuff. If you're just joining the stream and you want to get to the old subject, you can watch the replay. I get right into it, the main subject. Oh, I want to show you guys something I think is kind of cool. So we updated the Studioweb profile. So you have a public profile. If you log into your Studioweb on the dashboard, you're going to see this big purple button on the top top right main menu. You're going to see the big purple button. And you click on that, it's going to take you to your public profile page. But there's two versions of the public profile page. I'll show you now. You have what the public sees. I'll show you that. So this is what the public sees. And as you can see, it's, let me zoom in on this a bit. Boom, 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 boom. So this is like a demo, a live demo. So the public sees a very basic view. It shows you what the public will see. So if you share your URL, you share your profile page, which you have on Studio, it shows what courses you've completed, but no other information, and which ones are in progress. And if you have any certificates, it will show you it will show the users the certificates you earned and when you earned them. So it's very cool in terms of this is credible because your profile is on a third-party site. To pass this stuff, you have to pass, right? It's not a certificate of completion, which is next to useless. So then you have a private profile now. Let me show you that. I'll get rid of this. So the private profile, same dude. As you can see here, private profile has a lot more information. You look at HTML foundations, for example. It shows you when you started, how many points you earned, your trending grade. The trending grade, something that teachers have been seeing for years now. It tells you basically what your grade would be if you stopped the course at this moment in time. So if this guy, trending grade 97%, he's doing pretty good. He's got a 97%. And how much time you spent on the course. So you have this for each and every course. Of course, you go down low, you'd have your badges that you earned, and of course your certifications and your grades. So this is not available to the public. To see this part with all these details, you have to be logged in. So this is kind of a cool feature. So you have the logged in version, which only you can see with all these details. People like to know how well they're doing. And then you have the public version, which no details, just which courses you completed and your certifications when you earned them. So that's kind of a cool feature. We just released this this week on Studioweb, so I'm kind of happy with that. Hold on. Any future portfolio reviews? It would be interesting to see the opinion of an industry veteran. Cheers. Yeah, I think I could maybe set something up. We do that in the mentoring group, by the way. But yeah, we do that for sure. Maybe we could. I would have to set that up, but yeah, maybe we can do a portfolio review. I gotta plug my mentoring. Sorry, guys, let's go do it. So I got my little mentoring group here. It's been about a year old. I don't publicize it too much because I want to make sure I can handle the load. But we got a good group. Matthew's part of it, and you have basically everything. The full community. You can check it out. You can learn all about it. I won't go on, but you can learn all about it. Just go to Studioweb Mentoring. They're linked below the video. They're at Studioweb.com mentoring. And yeah, if you want the full Stef experience with the support and everything, that's where you go. Anyway, I'll stop. But I'll do a review. I'll do one on this stream. I'll have to set it up though. I think that the company will give him a new techniques and will give him a load of projects that will increase his ability to code fast and know his dev's faults. The advantage of working for another company is partly that, but it's mostly getting direct input from other developers around you who are probably senior to you. but you will learn new techniques as you develop projects as a freelancer as well. There's no question about that. All right, should I stay in IT or go coding? Try out coding. I think coding has got a better career because IT is going to be changing so quick because the infrastructure is becoming so sophisticated now. They're going to need less and less people, I think, to maintain that infrastructure. That's just me. Think of networking as an example. Coding, though, that's still going to be around for a long time. Still learning the fundamentals of JS, but I feel I can build something very soon. Fantastic. Good stuff. Feels good, eh? What is good resource for learning the framework involved to build a simple project? You should be able to build a simple project with vanilla JS. Like in my course, I teach you how to validate with JS. I teach you how to animate with JS, how to draw with JS. So that might be... it depends on the type of JS. Most JS is client-side, meaning in the browser, used for validations, DOM manipulation, which I teach. And then you have server-side JS with Node, Express, etc. What I would do is I would finish your JS fundamentals and then to start working on some simple projects. Say, like validate a form with JS. Try that out. Draw with JS. Try to manipulate the DOM with JS. Somebody clicks on a button, it causes certain parts of the page to expose itself, etc., etc. JavaScript is generally like a helper language. The main forceful use of Java, or the main central use, if you will, in terms of being core to the app, is the HTTP XML request, the AJAX stuff, where you're starting load using JavaScript to do calls to the server and doing AJAX rendering in your pages. So you want to look at that. It is 4:44 a.m. where I live. Very Saud. Where do you live? Tell us where you live. I'm curious. You're up late. That's cool. Thanks for joining the stream. What are 2 goals, both short and long, for a guy trying to start a new path in life through coding and being in web development? 2 months so far being self-taught and taking courses. Well, yeah, you just got to keep working at it. I recommend you discipline yourself to minimum 20 minutes a day. Give yourself 2 days a week off. Start writing code as quickly as possible. Once you have your fundamentals, jump into some real projects with real clients for free. You don't want to get caught up in just doing tutorials all the time and feeling insecure with your tutorial hell existence. Yeah, off the top of my head, I would invite you to take a look at my courses, run through the fundamentals. You're going to learn very quickly. I'm sure just check out my reviews. Hello from Argentina, very cool. Turbo Pascal, only if you have a client with some legacy Turbo Pascal project. I had such a project once. There you go, exactly. I always tell people, let the demand in the market dictate your focus. The Habs fired their coaches, Dabernack. Did they? I guess they're not doing too good. Coupon for mentorship. Write me. Christy Johnson. I'm very jealous of Christy. Christy lives in Hawaii, as you might have guessed. Aloha. Thanks for joining the stream. My friend, one of my good buddies, he traveled all over the world. He says the only place he would visit again is Hawaii. What's it like to work in a bilingual city like Montreal? In all honesty, last time I worked for somebody, I was a bouncer in a nightclub. So when I was dealing with my clients as a bouncer, I didn't have to speak French or English. So it wasn't an issue for me. But if you're working if you're in software development or something like that, you have to know your French. It's a very touchy issue. The language is very political up here in Quebec. Have you tried shaga versus coffee? I have not tried shaga. I don't know what shaga is. I should check that out though. Did the Python course, Stefan? Did the Python course. Stefan is an excellent teacher. Oh, let me read that again. Stefan is an excellent. Thanks for letting me know. I am going through the web dev at the moment. It is It's a behemoth program. Excellent value. Thanks you, Stefan Mischek. Well, I appreciate that, HJ. Thanks for letting the people know. As you know, if you did the Lizard Wizard course, that that kind of testimony is hugely powerful, and I really do appreciate that. Debugging and changing colors. Debugging and changing colors. Will Blazor kill JavaScript? No. Did you ever knock anyone out cold in your boxing days? Yeah, more than once. Hello, Master. Hello, Ishaya Brav. How are you? Is it worth learning to code when there's such advancement in AI? Yeah, AI still can't drive a car. It's getting there, but still can't do it. And coding is like 10,000 times more complex. I think we'll be good for a little while. Do you think AI will take over the field in the near future? Not for a long, long time. Before AI takes out coding, many other professions will be taken out. When you see accountants no longer have jobs, and lawyers no longer have jobs, and bookkeepers no longer have jobs, and so many other professions, then you can start looking at coding maybe. But coding's very complex. You gave me the encouragement to get much deeper into web development, and for that alone, I always appreciate you. No problem, Guru. I appreciate you letting me know that I do this because I really enjoy this, and I enjoy hearing back from students of mine and former students of mine. Matthew says I. He's affirming his identity. Matthew is. Okay, Kim Jong-un. Do you think that ML AI is an overhyped field? I don't think it's overhyped. I think it's still early stages in terms of what it's going to do. But it's very important. Like I even see with my camera, like the camera is able to autofocus like this. This was 5 years ago. This was very difficult. And it's doing it through AI. So, you know, I think it's a great helper technology. Everyone wants a senior full stack remote. That's true. That's true. And everyone wants to date a supermodel too. Every interview I take asks for the kitchen sink and expects you to build full prod apps in weeks or months. Well, they're inexperienced. I know how it is. It's just the way. This is nothing new. It's been going on since the 90s. 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. here are my times. All right. 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. are my times. 2 p.m., 8 p.m., 2 p.m. All right. Tune in from Atlanta, Georgia. Very cool. I heard good things about Atlanta. Yeah, it's a place I gotta go work. I think intense workouts are more for gaining muscle rather than weight loss. Exactly. Exactly. Weight loss is 90% diet. Karim is from Algeria, North Africa. I'm also Algerian, but I'm in North America. Matthew says, that is cool. I need to check it out. We have a meeting Sunday, don't we? Yes, we do. Sunday it is. Sunday it is. Stefan, do you need to do that Python? Do you need to do that Python? Stefan, you need to do that Python course. I guess he's talking to another Stefan. How are we doing for time here? 48 minutes. I'll be, at around an hour, I'll be signing off. Can functional programming language like Scala have a future? I think they'll have a future, but I think they'll be niche unless something unusual happens. Tuned in from Italy. Hey, how you doing, man? Thanks for tuning in. Shoot, I don't want to look at my trending grades. Yeah, Matthew is one of the mentees. Since I started my own project, I was overwhelmed about cloud provider like Oracle Cloud or Amazon. Yeah, I can understand it, or even Google Cloud. Which one of them is suitable for intense hardware usage? Well, those are notably complex. Although I think they're trying to simplify now. That's typically for huge enterprise projects, so I would shy away from that. You may want to check out DigitalOcean. I think they got some easy to deploy products now. So check out DigitalOcean. Good people in the mentoring program. Yeah. How many are you on tonight? You're on, and Madame from Christy from Hawaii are on. Where can I find free coding software like C++? It's all free. Ruby is free. There's a reason it's free. Now, Python is free, Java is free, PHP is free, JavaScript is free. It's all free. And there are free IDEs like Visual Studio Code, not Visual, VS Code. Yeah, Visual Studio Code. That's free. There's many others. Do you have any courses on design patterns? No, I think I touch off on design patterns. I may introduce you to 2 or 3 in my programming courses, but I recommend the book below. There's a link below the stream, but highly recommend it. I think you'll get a lot out of it. Hey Stefan, is Java Programming MOOC Helsinki a good course for learning the fundamentals? I don't know. I don't know his course. I don't know his course. I couldn't say. Aha, Ajax, my nemesis. But you're right. I'll get it sooner or later. Yeah. Just keep working at it, man. Just work at it. You know, listen. If it was so easy, then everybody would do it, and coders wouldn't be paid the big bucks, right? So you got that little initial hurdle you have to contend with. But once you get over it, trust me, it'll be one day you go, oh, now I understand. And literally it's like that. One day you wake up, oh, now I understand. So you just got to push through, be calm, push through. That's one of the reasons I put out my Lizard Wizard course, because I wanted people to understand their psychology and learn how to navigate that. Hello from Poland. Thanks for joining the stream, dude. Do you think the CS50X is a good course? Don't know. I couldn't say. I'm from Portugal, working in Shanghai, China. Very cool. 10 a.m. here. Fantastic. That's very cool, man. How was Shanghai? Starting a new job as a senior front-end dev, and I'm feeling in over my head, picking up new tech and ways of working and learning to be a manager. How can I avoid overwhelm and learn effectively? That's a good question. I think part of it, something I teach in the Lizard Wizard course, your brain has a tendency to overemphasize potential risk. So chances are the sense of overwhelm is, I'm sure there's a root to it, and I'm sure there's a truth to it, but a lot of it is probably just your brain magnifying it a little bit. So try to, use breathing techniques to calm yourself down a little bit. Do a little every day. Try to tackle one problem. Organize your problems, and then put them in a hierarchy, and then just tackle one at a time. And you're going to get a satisfaction out of that. But if you look at all the problems at once, and you try to do a little here, a little there, a little here, whoa! If you try to do a little bit at a time, hold on. My camera's drunk. Come on. You try to do a little bit at a time. There we go. If you try to do a little bit at a time, it will be overwhelming. So subdivide, put into a hierarchy of concerns, what's most important, and just tackle one at a time. And when you start nailing them, it becomes satisfying. Or maybe put some of the easy stuff at the top, so you get you start chipping away at things. I hope that helps. But there's also some basic things you can do, and just in terms of managing your psychology. Scott, I'm doing research for the Department of Energy right now. Oh, very cool. Might go to UC Berkeley this summer if COVID doesn't prevent it. That's cool, man. Congrats. That sounds like a lot of fun. Ema, check out your course. Thanks for the info, brother. Ema, check out your course. Thanks for the. All right. I second coupon for mentorship. Well, you got me on a wine night, so just email me. We'll see what we can do. More wine for Stefan. More wine. How's the Montreal job market? I'm going there from the U.S. Crazy, assuming one already speaks French. I think a good friend of mine has a company. It's a pretty good sized company. They're going to have, I think they're going to hit 1,000 employees, technology. And he said they have a hard time finding good developers. So I should tell you something. Learning with your courses, my 50s ready for a new start. My 50s are ready for a new start. Learning with your courses, my 50s. All right. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean by the 50s. I learned HTML and CSS. I just finished building a nice WordPress theme from scratch. Hey, cool. I also have 2 real-world projects already. Should I learn JavaScript in order to start applying for jobs? No, you can start applying for jobs with these skills because you got something to show. But if you add a little JavaScript to the mix, you're just adding value. The more you learn, the more you earn, I like to say. But what you should do is get into some back-end coding. Back-end is where the big demand is and the money is. Get into back-end coding. That will help you a lot. Yeah. All right, here we go. Is it better to learn web dev in English or French or both? I'm bilingual living in Montreal. Well, most of the web dev is going to be in English anyway, right? All the languages are English, but I think you'd be fine either way. Michael Fax, it's hard stepping into the senior role. Everyone expects you to be everything. I don't feel imposter syndrome. I feel like I have to learn from a fire hose. Yeah, it's a big step up. Like I said, you just calm the emotions down. Do what I suggested. It will help a lot. Hello, Stefan Gula says, good name, Stefan. Hello from Berlin. Like your channel. Appreciate that. Thank you. Just got my first freelancer job with a company. Congratulations. That is working. I assume that's working with the PHP framework Yi2. Yeah, I've heard of it. I've been working mostly in .NET. Any advice? Amy advice? No, just learn Yi and just tackle it like anything else. You should be able to get your head wrapped around it pretty quickly. If I buy one of your courses, do I have access to it forever, or is it a monthly payment? It's one-time payment only. One-time payment only. How do you decide to make Studioweb for schools? How did you decide? Well, I'll tell you the story of Studioweb. This is how app development can be, SaaS development will be. So I have this will be interesting for people who want to know how this works. So it was about 11 years ago. I decided to build a SaaS product that would make learning to code much easier. I come from a family of teachers. I taught for many years, in terms of people working for me, martial arts, and I studied learning theory and psychology. So I took all my knowledge and put it into the program based on that. And then I put it out there and I beta tested it with a few thousand people, retail. And then I started talking about it a little bit on the web through my blogs. I own the killersites.com, killerphp.com, csstutorial.net, and how to build websites. So I have a pretty decent audience then, especially back then, a couple million page views a month. So then a couple of schools approached me. One out of Ohio, and I think the other one was out of Tennessee. Anyhow, so they approached me and said, hey, can this program, the Studioweb thing, can it work for the schools? And I said, yeah, we had the concept of a group. And I had thought about schools, but it was back in my head. So we created a concept of a group entity within the system. And I was thinking also corporate training. So we deployed it to the school. And I wrote it when we wrote this thing, we designed the thing, the first iteration of the application. It was MVP, minimum viable product. It was very dirty code. Let's get it out the door. And so we got it out the door, and then it really started to learn. I started getting feedback from all the schools. They started calling us up, hey, this is not working. Like, for example, we put in a scoring system. It was a pretty advanced scoring system and a badging system. But it was just there when it was conceived of and engineered. I remember I was sitting down with my developers at the time, and I said, it doesn't have to be rock solid. It's just there as a gamified tool. So it encourages people to want to answer the quiz questions, write the code, and it grades you and stuff. But we didn't put any controls for cheating or anything like that because I just didn't expect it. So of course. So we deployed it to our first schools, and the students quickly learned how to cheat. So I started getting panic calls from the teachers. Hey, their students are they're showing these great marks, but anyway, we figured out they were cheating. But I wasn't sure how they were cheating, so we had to reverse engineer how they were cheating. Again, that was something I just never considered, because I didn't expect it. I didn't understand at the time how important marks were. For the teachers, and I didn't expect them to use Studioweb as the main grading tool. So then we had to go in there, we had to repair it and make sure that the whole grading and tracking system was not cheatable. So we had to rewrite that, and that sort of kind of developed out of that. So we got our first couple of schools who contacted us, and we just started doing more and more and more schools over time. But the application as it is today, version 5, is very different from what it was initially. The original core functionality and how it flows and the course flow, which I nailed that pretty good back then. But there's like maybe 100, 150 little changes that have been made that altogether makes a huge difference. Plus, we've added a whole bunch of capabilities in the back end just for teachers. So to answer your question, how did you decide to make Studioweb for schools? I decided because schools came to me and wanted to give me money to provide the curriculum. So I said, okay, if we can make a business out of it, we'll do it. Yeah, give me some thumbs. I only have 2, so I need more. Hello, okay, bad joke, sorry. Hello from Sydney, Australia, 1 p.m. here, lunchtime. Cheers. Hey, thanks for joining. I have a good, one of my brother lives in Australia. I'm not sure if it's Sydney. Yeah, he's married out there. Satellite internet is terrible for live feeds. I guess so. Are you guys getting a clear feed? Let me know if you're getting a clear feed. I'm not seeing any bandwidth warnings on my end. So I think they figured things out. What's the best programming language for coding interviews? Giving the interviews or doing the interviews? Let me know. Hey, Stefan, I've been studying web dev for around 10 months, and I always wanted to do a project, but I stopped studying web dev from October to December. Do I need to go back to the fundamentals again? No, if you feel comfortable writing the code, just jump into the fire, dude. Just find some free project to do for somebody, some little thing, and just do it. And what you don't know, just learn it. You know, you're gonna have to do that. Let me dispel a myth about development. When you first start as a developer, it's a continuous process of learning. You're always learning new things, new libraries, new techniques. As you get more, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years into it, it becomes more and more, you have less learning and more just implementing, but it's always problem solving of some sort. So even if you're not learning anything new, when you're actually writing software, it's not a cookie cutter thing. You know what I mean? You're always baking this piece of software from scratch. Most of the time. Yes, you're using libraries and so on, but there's always you have to have a good, solid fundamentals to be a professional coder. Hope that helps. Visual Studio free for single developers. There you go. Like Freelancer on its own. Yeah, so you're good there. So I forgot a lot of major concepts for HTML and CSS. So should I relearn it or learn along the way while creating a project? Well, if you need a refresher, just take my my web dev course. It's going to cost you a couple of glasses of wine for Stef, and if you can run through real quickly, you'll definitely learn new things, I'm sure. And then you'll feel more confident jumping into the game. Hello, Stefan. PHP or Node.js for backend? Depends on the type of the work. I haven't looked at Node in a while. One of the things I didn't like about Node, and apparently it's still the case, the package managing that whole NPM is a mess. It's a lot of conflicts and dependencies. So I was told. I haven't looked at it in a long time. It was back then. PHP is much more stable. That said, Node is a better choice if you want to do asynchronous stuff. So it depends what you want to do. But they're both good choices. You can't go wrong with either. What you struggle with most in your journey? I don't know. Technical struggles or business struggles? I'll deal with technical. I think it's been such a long time. I think the hardest thing for me was very complex algorithms. That was the hardest thing for me. Not good at that. I'm good at architecture and so forth. But thankfully, that doesn't come up very often in most programming, unless you're designing a search engine or something. Business-wise, the challenge, trying to decide what to pursue. When you get into business, if you decide to go there, You have many opportunities. There's so many opportunities, and it's a question of choosing the good one or the best one. It's hard to do. I've made bad choices where I made money with this, but I would have made 10 times the money with something else if I had done that. So making business is, once you get into it, it's about rationing your time and your effort. I'm at the point where I'm fortunate enough where I do things based on what I like or don't like to do, more or less. It's been a while, to be honest with you, that way. But yeah, those are the two challenges. Technically, it was very deep algorithms and very complex problems of logic. I'd always got it. But architecture, it was much easier for me. But that's just me. Everybody's different. Louis says, adios, 1% battery. All right, thanks for joining the stream. I risk exposing myself to radiation so I can listen to Stef. Well, don't get sick there. All right, thanks for joining the stream. We'll see you next time. How we doing for time? Oh, over an hour. All right, I'm going to be wrapping things up. I got asked about Elementor in a job interview. I told them I never used it, but website builders are easy to learn. I'm full stack developer. I'll not have a problem learning. Was that a good answer? Very good answer, and it's the truth. It's the truth. Always be truthful and transparent. Most people in time would be able to smell a BSer. So yeah, being transparent and truthful is right. Again, if you're armed and well-trained in the fundamentals, all this stuff is learnable in a reasonable period of time. That's part of your job. How is Shanghai? Not bad weather, spring coming, and with near 24 million people. Ha ha ha. Yeah, wow, 24 million. Big fan from Morocco. Yassim Boujna. I don't know if I said that right. Well, thanks for joining the stream. I appreciate it. Hi guys, does anyone from Anki use Anki for learning program? I would like to hear your guys' thoughts. No, they use Studioweb. Come on. Please give us your name of your friend's company so we can apply for jobs. Sure, it's PaperCo, P-A-P-E-R Co, PaperCo. It's it's a startup, but it's growing super fast. Should I learn PHP or JavaScript first? Either or, it's up to you, you know. That's up to you. Either or. PHP, ironically, I think would be easier because it's more consistent, I find. Hey, Stefan from Singapore, one question. Should I launch my Android app, my first app, before organizing a solid testable code base, or do update refactor codes first? Your first app, get it out there, buddy. Get it out there, let people use it, and see if they even like the concept before you start investing a bunch of time into refactoring your code. Just get it out there. I'm a big proponent of that. How much it took you to consider yourself pro dev? How much it took you to consider yourself a pro dev? Oh, it's a difficult question for me because I first learned to code, to write a website for my business, which had nothing to do with technology, well, IT anyway, information tech. It had nothing to do with that. Back in '94, it was a basic HTML site, and then I started adding using a little bit of Perl CGI to add some functionality. So I just kind of learned as I needed to for my own business needs. And then when I left that business, when I sold my position out of that business in '96, and I had done some freebie gigs here and there because it was kind of just fun for me. Then I just started doing professional work, freelancing style. So I just jumped in, and there you go. It's like something one of my coaches in martial arts. It was either my boxing coach or one of my martial arts coaches. I asked him, "What's the difference between an amateur fighter and a professional fighter?" And he said to me, "Professional fighters get paid." So there's your answer. To be senior also means to work with teams, not being everything. Exactly. Senior has a more global view of the project, and they assign people properly. And as you become more senior, you're doing less and less day-to-day work. People ask me, Stef, how much do you code per day? I don't code hard anything. I just don't have time. I manage what's going on around here. I know JavaScript very well. Which JS framework should I learn how now? Look at the local job opportunities, see what's available in your areas. maybe dabble a little bit with React, dabble a little bit with Vue, see what you prefer, weigh that against jobs, and take it from there. All right. I will love the courses, man. Richard Moore says, all right, thanks, man. No, nobody's suing me. Watch the beginning of the stream. You see what's going on. I was answering somebody's question. All right. I think I'm going to... Skyser says, video quality is excellent, but much lag to chat. When I react to what you say, you have forgotten when you read it. Yeah, that's YouTube's fault. All right. I'm getting dings on my phone. I know what's going on. I'm not sure what's going on there. So thanks for joining the stream, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please do give me a thumbs up. It's good for the algorithms. I'll leave this stream up for a little while, but long-ass streams like this, I might cut it up into pieces and release clips, make it easier for people. If you like clips idea, give me a thumbs up so I know. And that's about it. So what I'll do is I'll leave you guys with ASMR. And what does Mr. Cheney has to say? Hello from Casablanca, Morocco, 3:17 a.m. I went over my sleeping time. Laugh out loud. Oh, thanks for joining the stream. All right. Cool. All right. So that's it. Thanks for watching. And I will leave you with my ASMR video from Cape Elizabeth, Maine. If you ever get to the US, it's a beautiful place to go. I highly recommend. Good lobster. Super relaxing, you'll chill out, and yeah, we'll talk soon.